they were originally thought to have been lost, but today the British Film Institute has streamed two rediscovered episodes of At Last, the 1948 show.
Yes, the programme starring John Cleese was considered to be the predecessor to Barry County movies. The almost complete episodes were discovered in the archive of the late David Cross, who was the show's executive producer.
Yeah, so how exactly do you go about hunting for television like this? Philip Morris is a lost TV expert. Good morning to you. Great title. How do you get a title like that? What do you have to do to be such an expert?
By accident, is the honest answer. I think it started for me. I was looking for a copy of Not Only Derivative. The late BBC comedy with Peter Fitzgerald. Somebody told me that this was no good. I thought, surely it does exist. You know, I've heard the sound, but no, there was a policy back in the early 70s of not keeping these recordings. You're kind of quite shocked about it, obviously. So the more you learn about it, the more that you want to look into it. And I realised that these copies of these programs were sold overseas. And that led me to start my travels, start my career, obviously, the company, and try and locate some of these recordings to get them back as a part of our culture, part of our national consciousness, and, you know, comedy and everything else, and drama, of course. I think we can just see a bit of this program in the car. Let's just see if we can, a little bit. No?
It's worth waiting for.
Have yourself a bit of a magpie. I am a bit of a magpie. It's, when I go searching for stuff, I always think out of the box, and, you know, you can't always rely on sales sheets and things like where things are sold. You really have to think out of the box and search every last corner, really. I can recall I was in Nigeria, one of my early searches there, and I was in an old crop store, and I said, this is where we used to keep a lot of cars. And I said, do you mind if I look? Well, we don't have any chrome in there, so we can have a look. And I pulled the carpet back, and underneath this carpet, the two copies of The Scarlet Knight from the BBC in 1966. One had one with one of them was a very special programme with Arthur C. Clarke, which the BBC said, but we didn't record it. So you must have recorded it because I've probably found it special. So we managed to return that to Patrick Moore. He was absolutely delighted because obviously Arthur C. Clarke was actually one of his school friends. And to see them both predicting the future, which is what the story is about, they were called Man Bases on the Moon. And Arthur C. Clarke, this is in 62, said, well, by the end of the decade we'll be on the moon, and 5 years after that we'll have a base on the moon. Well, we didn't quite get that far, but the program was absolutely, it's just such a slice of our televisual history. It's nice to get things like that back. That kind of thing excites me. It really does.
And you found an episode of Doctor Who as well. How did you find it?
Oh, well, there's two stories, to be honest with you. You've got two great adventures. The Enemy of the World and the Web of Fear, with the great Patrick Stamp, who was one of the greatest Doctor Who's ever. And they were you knew they'd been sold to Nigeria, but the station had actually bought them, had destroyed all the programs, and it was just, I was methodically going through every station in Nigeria because I was working on, and I am working on a project with the Nigerian Television Authority. And I just found them on the first piece of masking tape, I can still remember now, Doctor Who, wow, pull the cans down, oh dear, no, Web of Fear, this has been since forever. You know, and it was one of the absolute holy grails of Doctor Who, you know, it was a condition. Well, I've got to say here, the BBC restored the programme, and the restoration team the BBC employs to do these things are absolutely groundbreaking. Fantastic. The good thing is about these old programs now with the technology you have, you're not seeing what you saw back in the 60s, you're seeing a very